The Golden Tree and the Village of Greed, a moral story. In a land far away, nestled between lush green hills and a gentle flowing river, lay a small village called Eldoria. The village was home to humble farmers, merchants, and artisans who lived simple, peaceful lives. Eldoria was known for its lush meadows, crystal clear streams, and fertile soil. Yet, despite its natural beauty, the village was relatively poor, and its inhabitants made just enough to sustain themselves. The people of Eldoria, though content, secretly yearned for wealth and riches, hoping that one day they would find fortune. One evening, as the sun was setting behind the hills, casting golden hues across the sky, something extraordinary happened. In the middle of the village square, a radiant tree appeared, glowing with a soft, golden light. The villagers gathered around it in awe, for the tree was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its leaves were shimmering like gold, and its trunk sparkled as though it had been carved from precious gems. At the base of the tree, a small plaque appeared, engraved with an inscription. The village elder, a wise and kind man named Heron. Read the words aloud. The golden tree grants a single wish to those who ask, but beware, greed will bring sorrow. Choose wisely. The villagers were abuzz with excitement. A wish. A wish that could change everything. But the warning about greed caused many to hesitate. What could the tree mean by bringing sorrow? Despite their doubts, the temptation was too strong to resist. The first to approach the tree was Vora, the village merchant. He had always dreamed of being the wealthiest man in Eldoria, envying the riches of faraway lands he had only heard about. Kneeling before the golden tree, he made his wish. I wish to be the richest man in the world, with gold and jewels beyond anyone's wildest dreams. The tree's leaves shimmered brightly, and a golden mist enveloped Vora. When the mist cleared, Vora found himself surrounded by piles of gold, jewels, and precious artifacts. His wish had been granted. Vora rushed home, overjoyed with his newfound wealth. He began building a grand mansion, far larger than any home in Eldoria, and started to hoard his treasure. But as days passed, something changed. His friends and neighbors, who had once greeted him warmly, now kept their distance. People became suspicious and envious, whispering behind his back. The joy Vora had felt when his wish was first granted soon turned to loneliness. He realized that his wealth had isolated him from the very people he had once cherished. Next came Lenya, the village baker, who was known for her kindness. But deep down, she had always felt insecure about her simple life. Seeing Vora's fortune, Lenya decided to approach the tree with a wish of her own. I wish to be the most beautiful woman in the world, she declared. As with Vora, the golden tree granted her wish. Lenya's reflection became that of unparalleled beauty, admired by everyone who passed her by. People from neighboring villages came just to catch a glimpse of her radiant face. But soon, Lenya found herself trapped by her own vanity. She became obsessed with maintaining her beauty, and as the months went by, she feared aging more than anything. Every wrinkle, every gray hair that appeared caused her distress. Lenya withdrew from the world, hiding in her home, terrified that time would steal away the beauty she had wished for. The admiration she once reveled in turned to a prison, isolating her from the life she had once loved. As word of the golden tree spread, more villagers came forward with their wishes. Some wished for power, others for endless youth, and still others for more land or possessions. But each wish, though granted, brought unexpected consequences. The once close-knit village of Eldoria became divided. Jealousy and suspicion grew as people hoarded their newfound fortunes, unwilling to share with one another. Friendships were broken, and families were torn apart. One day, a young orphan named Elara, who had lived in the village for as long as anyone could remember, approached the tree. Elara had never known wealth, beauty, or power, and had grown up watching others receive the bounty of the golden tree, only to lose their happiness. As she knelt before the tree, she didn't wish for riches or fame. Instead, she whispered, "I wish to understand why the wishes bring sorrow." The tree remained silent for a moment, and then its leaves began to glow. The air around Elara shimmered, and she felt a warmth spread through her heart. Suddenly, the meaning behind the tree's warning became clear to her. Elara realized that the sorrow came not from the wishes themselves, but from the greed and selfishness that the wishes inspired. Those who sought to enrich only themselves, without regard for others, were doomed to suffer. Determined to help her village, Elara gathered the people of Eldoria in the square. She told them of her wish and of the truth the golden tree had revealed to her. "The tree grants us what we desire," she said, "but it cannot give us happiness. That must come from within. We have become so focused on our individual wishes that we have forgotten what truly matters, each other." The villagers listened in silence, reflecting on their choices. Bora, the merchant, stepped forward first. "I wished for wealth, but all it brought me was loneliness. I would trade every piece of gold I have for the friendship I once had with my neighbors." Lenya followed. "I thought beauty would bring me happiness, but it only made me fearful of losing it. I miss the days when I could laugh freely without worrying about how I looked." One by one, the villagers confessed the burdens their wishes had brought them. They realized that their desires had blinded them to the simple joys of life, the warmth of friendship, the love of family, and the satisfaction of a hard day's work. Elara approached the tree once more and made a final wish. "I wish for the village of Eldoria to be restored, not with wealth or beauty, but with kindness, generosity, and love." The golden tree glowed brighter than ever before, and a wave of warmth spread over the village. The air seemed lighter, and the tension that had weighed on the villagers for so long began to lift. Bora, Lenya, and the others felt a sense of peace they had not known in months. They began to share their wealth, their skills, and their time with one another. Bora gave his riches to help the poor, Lenya taught others the art of baking, and those who had wished for power or land used their influence to improve the village for everyone. As the days passed, the village of Eldoria transformed. No longer was it a place of envy and greed, but one of cooperation and care. The villagers rebuilt their community, not on the foundation of their wishes, but on the bonds they shared with one another. Eldoria thrived, not because of material wealth, but because its people had rediscovered the true source of happiness, each other. And, as for the golden tree, it remained in the center of the village, still glowing softly, a reminder of the power of wishes, and the importance of using that power wisely. Though the tree could grant any desire, the people of Eldoria had learned that the greatest gifts in life could not be wished for, they had to be earned through love, compassion, and selflessness. From that day on, no one in the village approached the tree with selfish desires. Instead, they gathered around it every year to celebrate their unity, their happiness, and the lessons they had learned. The village flourished, not because of the golden tree's magic, but because its people had finally understood the true meaning of wealth. And so, Eldoria became known not for its riches, but for the kindness and generosity of its people, who lived in peace and harmony for generations to come. The end.